What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my studio. So we are doing another update on the Street Fighter director and the upcoming reboot, and this one is really interesting. A few days ago, I covered a video on Street Fighter the reboot has found its new director after the directors who did Talk to Me backed out because of some issues with the schedule while filming this series. But thankfully, we ain't got to worry about no issues with the new reboot. We finally have a new director, so it's really interesting. So let's get to the article. It says, according to insider Daniel Richmond, Kaito Sakurai, Bad Trip, has now signed on to helm the film. Now, Bad Trip, I have no idea about this film. I might need to check out some trailers or whatever though, and see what the movie is about. But yeah, at least there's one information that I didn't really get from Twitter. All I saw is that Street Fighter has found its new director. That was it. But no other information as to who this guy is. So at least we now know who he is, thanks to one film that he created. Reports indicate that scheduling is part to blame from the brothers' decision, as the studio was hoping to begin shooting the movie fairly soon, and the filmmakers has shifted their focus on what will now be the next project, Bring Her Home, which is currently shooting in Australia. It's a shame that the Piccolo brothers will no longer take the helm, as they sounded very enthusiastic about the film during a recent interview. Now, here's the thing about the Philippine brothers. I love their videos. I love how enthusiastic they sound. And I've seen their vlogs of them casting new actors for Talk to Me. Even the actors were really excited about it. Hollywood, the Film Expo, they all really want to see this movie. And I've seen the movie Talk to Me. It's a good film. Highly recommend it. But it's a shame that they didn't really get the opportunity to like show and see what Capcom would allow them to film in their style. So one of the brothers actually went on an interview and they said this: I think that's awesome that we have such a connection with the game and to the characters. And there's not like a pre-established big film franchise where we have to fall in line with an overall plot, said Danny. I think that we have the freedom to create what that overall arc could be if it was going to be a bunch of films. And so, and also, we love the chance to do an action film. We love the chance to do a big set pieces of a big budget, because even on our YouTube stuff, we're designing stuntings that had never been done before. And to do that on a grand scale, man, I feel like we could create something. Sorry, this went on. We could create something no one's seen before. And to be honest with you, with that statement alone, I feel like to me that Capcom could have just kept them if they didn't mess up on this, basic schedule. I don't know if it was Capcom's fault or Legendary's fault, because if you're gonna hire somebody that is really passionate about Street Fighter and the franchise, keep them. Change some things about the schedule so that way they can just get the film going. Who's going to be cast as the characters? Michael added, and I think it's like diving into the lore of Street Fighter. All of the characters, where they come from, has been so exciting. You just get endless ideas. So putting them to the screen, yeah, I think we can make something special. The way they sound in these interviews, I could tell they really were excited about the Street Fighter reboot. And we could have kept them. We could have kept them. So I don't know whose fault is it that their schedules got really messed up. Because just hearing this really makes me feel bad for them, because they really wanted to make a Street Fighter movie, but traveling schedules got in the way, messed up their perfect chance of becoming, successful directors from YouTube. Heartbreaking.
Okay, so unfortunately I had to jump onto my phone because my Chromebook is being ridiculous as usual. Like one of these days I'm gonna get that joint fixed because I'm tired of the slow internet. So I'm just gonna use my phone to finish it off. The Street Fighter video game series remains one of the most popular fighting game franchises of all time, but hasn't fared very well with the live action adaptation up until now. The 1984 movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme has amassed a cult following over the years, but is still widely regarded as a misfire, and the less said about the '09's Legend of Chun-Li, the better. Both films are a lot worse in my opinion because the first one from '94 was not even about Street Fighter. Yes, you got your characters that are from the game, but the story and the way it was executed, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was high on kite during the filming in '94, and the acting was really bad. The sound effects, everything about the film was just complete garbage. They barely did anything about Street Fighter. No tournament, no high stakes. The characters were just there. And I don't even know what the Street Fighter movie was about. Who is it for? Who made it for them? Even the Legend of Chun-Li film was a lot worse. I mean, God, I think what they need to do from now on is hire better writers. That's literally all they had to do, is hire better writers, because if you're not going to hire better writers that know exactly what they're doing, then you got just a failure of a franchise, in my opinion. We know next to nothing about this latest take on the property, so it's possible to say whether it will break the trend. The majority of fans who seem to prefer a Ryu-focused story, but there is a lot of Street Fighter lore to mine from at this stage. I mean, what you can do for this reboot is just focus on all of the characters instead of Ryu, because if you're gonna focus on mainly Ryu like you did with Cole Young in the first Mortal Kombat reboot, it's gonna take away the chances of all of the characters being developed. Like, take some time with Ken, take some time with Ryu, take some time with Gao, Chun-Li, Vega, among others. So if you do something like that with all of the characters instead of focusing on one main character, it's gonna suck. Like, you know, the first Mortal Kombat film from 2021 suffered from Cole Young being the main protagonist instead of having it about the tournament and having it about all of the characters. So, like I said, I'm still excited about this reboot. At least now we know about the new director who made one film, or made several films at that. It's not just a new director who is unknown to make a Street Fighter reboot. So at the end of the day, I really feel like Legendary and Capcom got this. This new director got this. I believe that they can pull this movie off as long as the fight scenes are good, nothing rushed, no bad writings, no bad directing. All I want to see is a good Street Fighter reboot that the fans truly deserve. So what are your thoughts on this article? Links to the article will be down below, and I'm gonna catch you.